season, a fresh start, and I don't know about you, but I am definitely ready to start again. Here is how to refresh and reset your life for the new season. Let's go. Hi guys, it's Laura and I help you live a simpler, happier, more spacious life. And I am one of these New Year's people. I love the idea of new year, new you, but I will take any opportunity for a fresh start and to just hit the reset button and start fresh. To wipe the slate clean and be filled with new potential, new possibilities, and new opportunities. So one of the things that I do when I am pressing that reset button, when I'm waiting for a fresh start, is to envision how I want my life to be. No matter how well or how badly it's gone, I always want to kind of create a mental picture and just kind of walk through, an ideal day, what an ideal day would look like. Or a great question is, what would success look like for me at the end of this season or this particular period in time? Put yourself in the shoes of future you and looking back, ask yourself, what were the things that really contributed to your happiness and your sense of satisfaction and fulfillment in your life? Really try to create a picture of your life in the future, a really vivid mental image of you in the future, feeling happy, feeling accomplished, feeling like you have achieved something, and kind of work your way back and ask yourself, okay, what do I need to do in the here and now and in the coming weeks to get me there? What can I do to make that dream a reality? First, you have to picture it, then you plan it. After that, there is no better way to feel refreshed and to hit that reset button and to start with that clean slate than to tidy up your home. It doesn't have to be your entire home, but pick a space that is meaningful to you, a space that you are in on a regular basis, a space that is really annoying you right now, and tidy it up, straighten it up, declutter if you need to, dust, organize, do all of the things to just make that space feel great. Our physical environments have such a huge impact on our mental health and our emotional moods, and that's something that I didn't even realize until I started decluttering and realizing that with each box and bag of stuff that I got out of my home, with each even tiny space that I tidied up, I was feeling this load lifted off my shoulders. And it's something that you don't even, like I said, you don't fully understand the impact and the relationship between those two things until you experience it for yourself. I'm sure you have felt that feeling when you tidy up a space and you feel relieved, you feel like you can breathe again, you keep opening that drawer and peeking in, and it makes you happy. Looking around at a messy home is one of those things where you're looking around basically at to-do lists. Everywhere you look is something to do. It's a pile of laundry that needs to be folded. It's stuff that needs to be put away. It's dishes that need to be washed up. You're constantly writing yourself this to-do list and it feels incredibly overwhelming. Whereas when you tidy up, you feel great. You feel in control of something. You can do your normal daily activities in a much easier and more efficient and effective way. And it just helps you to feel better overall, because when you look at a tidy space, it sends a message to your brain that you deserve this tidy space, and that is a real boost to your mental health and just self-care in general. When you have that tidy space, you're telling yourself, I deserve to have a nice space. It is a wonderful way to start a new season, and once you have the job done, or at least part of the job done, it's much easier to maintain from there on out. So put in the work up front to get yourself all set up for the new season, and then as you go through that season, all you have to do is just keep up the good work. Speaking of your health and your well-being, now is a wonderful time to take care of your physical health as well. So scheduling all of your checkups and appointments and visits with doctors and dentists and optometrists, all of that wonderful stuff. Maybe you need to update your medications. Maybe you need to go through your medicine cabinet, make sure that everything is still in date and still in good condition. Clear out anything that has expired. Maybe you need to speak to your doctor about something that is concerning you. Maybe you need to oh goodness, there are so many things. Maybe you need to go out and top up your vitamins, but just taking a look at your physical health and asking yourself, what can I do to either maintain the good health that I have or to improve my health. Get on the phone, make all of those appointments and those checkups right now so that at the end of the season, you will know that you have done what you can to take care of you. Speaking of looking after you, then another great thing that you can do at the start of a season is to make updates to what you are consuming. What kind of fresh fruits and vegetables are coming into season? What new meal ideas could you try out? What new recipes could you try? Are there some tweaks and changes that you could make to improve your overall health? Make up a quick meal plan for yourself, based on all of the stuff that is coming into season. Write yourself a shopping list of all the things that you will need to pick up. And listen, your meal plan does not have to be in any way, complicated. Even just write a list of your favorite meals so that when it comes time to make dinner, you already have a bank of ideas there and you're not struggling to figure out what to cook, which is a situation that I am often in. And having that shopping list there as well, based on your meal plan, means that when you do want to cook something, you will already have the ingredients on hand. Even snack ideas, snacking is a big thing for me. I'm very much a snacker, and if I don't have healthy snacks on hand, or if I can't kind of think of a healthy snack to rustle up, I will automatically go for the junky stuff because it's just quick and easy. So instead, now I have a note in my notes app on my phone that has a list of kind of really quick, easy snack ideas for me. Now, we talked about making all of those healthcare appointments. It's also a great time to look ahead and write down any upcoming events or, important dates, birthdays, anniversaries, things like that, things that you need to be aware of. And also then to make a note for yourself if there is anything you need to prep or to purchase for those events. I feel like birthdays and holidays and things like that, anniversaries, always seem to creep up on me so quickly, and then I'm floundering and I feel flustered because I'm rushing and racing to, pull something together at the last minute, and that's not a great way to feel. So look ahead and, be prepared for that stuff. Make your notes so that you can purchase any presents in advance, or you can prep any foods or dishes or things like that in advance as well, or buy party supplies or whatever needs to happen. But having that stuff on your radar is going to make you feel so much better. Getting the stuff ordered or organized right now is going to mean that, again, you can go through the new season not worrying about, missing things or forgetting things, and just knowing that everything is under control and you already have everything on hand and ready to go. Everything is taken care of. All you have to do then throughout the season is to just check on it regularly, because sometimes something will slip through the net or something will crop up unexpectedly. So I sit down on a Sunday and I make my plan for the coming week. I usually have a rough plan already, but I just make any tweaks and changes that are necessary. But having the bird's eye view up front is going to make everything run so much smoother for you. Now, with the best will in the world, things can still go wrong, and I'm sure you've experienced that before, where maybe you go to bed one night and you're full of motivation and you think, yes, tomorrow I'm going to do all of the things, and then you wake up the next day and you're just exhausted, you're just really tired and run down. So this season is a great time to get yourself a good evening routine and a good morning routine. And I do not mean that they have to be something really complicated, they don't have to be hours long, but just try and get in the habit of doing similar things each evening to help you wind down, and then in the morning doing some things that will help you kind of prepare for the day ahead. Things like brushing your teeth are part of your evening routine, so whether you like it or not, you probably already have some form of routine for yourself, things that you do pretty much every single evening that just help you to kind of get in the zone for sleeping. But try and sit down and think about, okay, if I were to really kind of craft a good evening for myself, if I were to get a good night's sleep, what would I need to do in advance to make sure as much as possible that that actually happens? It could be, switching off your phone maybe an hour before bed, so setting an alarm to remind yourself. It could be, not drinking coffee. I know a lot of people, have a cutoff time for when they stop drinking coffee, but all of those things are part of a routine that all add up to you getting a great night's sleep. Now listen, sometimes, like I said, life just happens. Maybe you've got young kids, maybe you're ill. There are all sorts of reasons why you may not be able to get a good night's sleep, but getting those habits in place are going to ensure that you can get the best night's sleep that you possibly can, regardless of your circumstances. And if you are going through a period of restlessness or sleeplessness, those habits will still stand you in good stead for the future. Same with your morning routine. Again, it may sound like really complicated, but chances are you do kind of follow some form of routine in the morning. You know, you get up, maybe brush your teeth, have a shower, get dressed, you go downstairs, have some breakfast. We generally tend to follow some form of routine. So again, it's just about bringing a little bit more conscious thought and intentionality to that, and kind of figuring out, you know, what is working for you and what is helping you to feel prepared and maybe what isn't. So if you feel that you are rushing and racing in the morning, it could be a matter of just setting your alarm 5 minutes earlier. Look at the kind of sticking points in your morning and try and resolve those. Again, asking yourself, you know, if I had the perfect morning, what would that look like? Or thinking back over a time when you did have the perfect morning, when you did wake up feeling refreshed and when you weren't rushing and racing and you did kind of feel like you could take your time. What were the things that you did differently that morning, and see if you can replicate those. But having a good solid evening routine and a good solid morning routine are what are going to help you wind down so that you can properly rest and relax and rejuvenate, and then wake up ready to take on the day. Now this next one is something that I personally don't do, but maybe you do. I know there are lots of people who do, but that is to change out your outfits if you keep out of season clothes somewhere else other than your closet, or you have them boxed up or bagged up or somewhere out of the way. Now's the time to swap them out. Again, kind of coming back to your vision. How do you want to feel moving into the new season? How do you want to present yourself to the new season and to the world? Years ago, I realized that I was really fed up of being cold every single winter. You know, I would tend to kind of just layer clothes, but I didn't really have any warm clothes, any kind of cozy, snuggly clothes. I tended to go, back then, I went for more, you know, fun and pretty over functional and practical. But again, think about the new season. How do you want to dress for it? How do you want to show up for it? And make sure that those are the types of clothes that are in your closet. They are easily accessible so that when the weather does inevitably change, you are ready for that change. Maybe go through very briefly. Something that I like to do is kind of try on some outfits, see what I feel really great in, and then snap a picture of it so that when it comes time to choose outfits, I'm not like with the dinner situation struggling to come up with an idea. I can just go to the bank of photos that are on my phone and remember, like, yes, that was a good outfit. I felt great in that. It fits me really well. And I can go and grab that. And another thing I do then is every Sunday, I choose my outfits for the coming week. Again, it's part of my morning routine. It makes my morning routine so much easier, so much quicker when I already know what I'm wearing. So switch out your outfits, pick out the ones that you really cherish and love and really want to wear that season. Make sure that they are weather appropriate, and yeah, dress up a little bit, feel that little bit more confident. Make sure that you're wearing clothes that you feel wonderful in. It does not mean that you have to run out and buy yourself a whole new wardrobe or anything. Work with what you have. If there is something that is missing and you do need to purchase it, make a note of that. And as you're putting away the out of season stuff, if you do that, then look really carefully at that stuff. Ask yourself, did you wear it the previous season? Are you going to wear it the next time an appropriate season rolls around? Or is it time maybe to declutter it? Don't just pack stuff away and pull it out without really thinking about whether or not you want to be pulling it back out. Same with the new season stuff that's coming out. Make sure it's stuff that you actually want to wear. But start the new season feeling and looking great. And listen, great is whatever that means to you, whatever you feel great in, regardless of whether it is trendy or in fashion at the time. I have plenty of clothes in my closet that I've had for decades, years and years. And you know, I often get comments when I do a closet decluttering video from people telling me I have too many bright colors, or I have too many patterns and I need to make things more neutral and, you know, go for basic colors, all mix and match together. I'm not interested in that. Like, color is my jam. I love having a bright closet. I love wearing bright clothes. And yes, I do have a lot of blacks and grays and navies and things, but overall a pop of color is what is right for me. If you feel great in it, that is all that matters. Now this next one will depend on which season you are coming into. Right now in the Northern Hemisphere, we are coming into autumn. I say coming into, we're already in autumn. In the Southern Hemisphere, you lucky ducks are at the beginning of spring. But whatever season you are facing into, I want you to embrace that season. You may not love that season. To me, autumn is just a slippery slope to winter. But embrace the season in whatever way you can. So if the evenings are getting darker, make sure that you're switching on more lights, maybe light more candles, have some throws and some extra cushions around. Really make it cozy and warm and inviting for you. Change up the blankets on your bed. You may need to add more, you may need to take some away. But again, whatever the season is, welcome it in. I think life can get so hectic that we rush through it and the seasons all tend to kind of blur together. Certainly that sometimes is my experience. So just taking a moment to actually stop and pause and look back over the season that has gone, you know, and be thankful for all the wonderful things that it brought and any like bounty or harvest or rest or whatever it was. And know that whether good things happened in that season, you know, take your time to be thankful for those, or if bad things happened in that season, know that they are now hopefully over and you can start fresh. But whatever has happened is behind you, and now you look forward to a new season and you make it the best season that you possibly can. Invite it in, prepare for it, decorate for it. And again, you don't have to go all out or anything, but like I said, even just lighting some extra lamps, maybe putting out some fresh flowers, whatever makes you feel that you are prepared and ready and welcoming for the new season. Honestly, it seems really silly, but it actually does make a big difference. No more rushing and racing, like I said. Just take a moment to appreciate the season that has passed and to look forward to the season that is coming. And even if you're not a New Year's person like I am, even if you're not really keen on resolutions or anything like that, seasons are a great time to set goals for yourself. Nothing too challenging, nothing that is going to kind of make you dread the upcoming season, but something that makes you look forward to it, something that makes you embrace a little bit of a challenge and that will make you feel accomplished and like you have achieved something at the end. You know, remember at the beginning when we talked about having that vision? Now's the time to make a solid goal for yourself, a solid action plan, and to really, like I said, have something that will make you feel like you're making progress, that life isn't just constantly rushing and racing past you, but that you are making that steady progress as you go. It's to give you something to focus on and something to work towards. I think one of the reasons that people hate resolutions is because it's too easy to fail at them. You know, the deadline is too far in the future. A year is a long time. A lot can happen in the space of a year, as I'm sure we are all aware, whereas 3 months is kind of a good enough time frame that the deadline still feels close enough that it still feels kind of pressing. You still feel like you need to do something, but it's not so close at the same time that you feel completely pressured and overwhelmed by it. Resolutions fall by the wayside because they're just too far into the future. It's easy to think like, oh, I have plenty of time to do that. Not so much with 90-day resolutions or goals or whatever your preferred word is. It's a really great amount of time because it's long enough to achieve something that's meaningful and substantial, but it's not so long that you feel like it's just too far into the future and you don't have to worry about that just yet. It still feels urgent enough to, you know, make you want to keep moving towards it and make you want to keep making that consistent progress without feeling like it is completely crushing you. I would love to know not only what is your least favorite season, but what do you kind of tell yourself, or what do you do to make yourself feel better about that season? Let me give you an example. So I hate winter. It's all dark and dreary and dull and miserable and cold. I do not like it. But every year when it rolls around, I think to myself, you know what, this is great because the cold is now killing off all of the bugs and spiders and things that I don't like, or they've gone into hibernation. So that is a big plus to the winter for me. It also means that, you know, during the summer's wonderful, but the sun sets really late, which means that for my daughter, she feels that she shouldn't go to bed early because it's still bright out. Whereas in winter, it gets dark earlier, so it's easier to convince her to go to bed. I know that's a really silly example, but what are some ways that you kind of you know, comfort yourself with the fact that a season that you don't really prefer is starting. What are the benefits to it? Just try and think about it in a slightly more positive light. And until next time then, go raibh míle maith agaibh, agus feiceann mé sibh go luath. Slán!